Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I bought in the last month for my September book haul. So as the title suggests, this is going to be my last book haul in a while because I am moving perhaps a couple of times in September, and so I first of all don't want to carry even more books around with me, put more books into storage or whatever's going to happen to them. I need to keep my books minimal as they can be, and also I'm trying to save some money. So I have 18 books here to show you all. Some are from the library, some are review copies, some are from friends or they're books that I've swapped for. The majority are ones that I bought for myself. So I think I'm going to start with the books that I got as review copies. There are only two of them because I mostly get e-arcs now, but let me just show you quickly the ones that I did get. So the first one is Raybearer. Technically I did buy this copy myself, but I also got an audiobook from NetGalley when they first launched their audiobook program. I've started listening to it. I loved the narrator. She is phenomenal so far. I'm only 3 chapters in, but I was really enjoying the book before my headphones broke, and so I haven't listened to the audiobook anymore since about a couple of weeks ago, but I do want to get back to it as soon as possible once I've ordered some new headphones. But again, I'm trying to save money, so I also pre-ordered the book because I was loving it. This is a YA fantasy book. It's West African inspired. It's about a main character who is half Fae, or maybe fully Fae. She is sent to the royal court to become part of the Crown Prince's 11. If she does become one of the 11, then that basically means that she becomes a council member, and she is joined to the council via the Ray. I don't know what that means yet, but it probably means some good things. It's probably going to be quite dark, I think, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to be able to listen to the audiobook again as soon as I get some headphones. I say this in every single video, but I'm going to stack my books back here, but in my new place I am definitely going to get some shelves and decorate my kind of backdrop area, and it's going to look amazing and I cannot wait. But for now we're just going to have to stack the books on the back of my chair. So the next advanced readers copy that I have is a monster, and that is XX by Ryan Hughes. This is a graphic novel. The author is a graphic designer and he has done the entire book himself. So it's told in mixed media format. It's science fiction about contact with aliens, I think first contact, and it's told via text, poetry, emails, NASA announcements, maps, images and all sorts, and it's 900, nearly 1,000 pages long. So I am really looking forward to reading it. I think it's going to be one that I set aside for mid-month. It came out in the UK towards the end of August, and it's not coming out in the US until October or November time. So I do have some time in between to get to it, but I wanted to feature it here because it's such a cool looking book and I'm really excited to get to it. Okay, so the next books are ones that I either got from friends or they're ones that I did a swap for. They're actually all advanced readers copies because they're either of books that I absolutely love, or they're advanced readers physical copies of advanced readers copies that I already have on ebook, and I have been finding it really difficult to read e-arcs, or I had been until ARC August happened. So I asked if my friend Justine could send me a few of these, and she did. One of the books is actually just one that I really enjoyed, so I wanted an arc of it, and she was kind enough to send them to me. So the first one we have is Beneath the Citadel. This is one that I did get from NetGalley. This is YA fantasy. It's about prophecies. So I think the main character in this is part of a ragtag group of people. She is the daughter of some rebels who have unfortunately died, so she's an orphan, and I think the ragtag group are trying to rebel against whatever leadership there is. The tagline is, "In a city governed by prophecies, can 4 powerful friends rewrite fate?" I did start this one as an ebook and I was really enjoying it, but I'm really glad that I have the physical version now so I can read it in this format. Then we have one that came out this year, and again I had a copy on NetGalley, but I was struggling to read it as an ebook, and that is Incendiary. You can't really tell from the cover. This is YA fantasy. It says here that the main character was kidnapped as a child by the Crown. She's a memory thief and one of the most feared of the Mariah, which I think is like a group of magical people in this world. So the king sends her on missions and she doesn't like it, and so she becomes a rebel spy. So we've got kind of a theme going on here. Justine sent me this one as well, and I'm very grateful. I can't wait to read this one. It's coming with me for wherever I move to. And then finally, the last one that Justine sent me is just a copy of the book that I really enjoyed, and that is The Silent Patience. I do have a full review up on this one. I will link it up above. It's quite a popular book. It's an adult thriller. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Came out in February of last year, 2019, and I just wanted a copy of it, and Justine was giving away an ARC, so she sent it to me. So thank you so much, Justine. I'm really appreciative, and I can't wait to read these two. And then I also did a book swap on Facebook for a few ARCs. The first one is the most exciting thing I might have ever received, and that is an ARC of To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. And if you don't know, Becky Becky Chambers is one of my all-time favourite authors. She should be one of everyone's favourite authors, in my opinion. She writes fantastic sci-fi, and I did read an arc of her book, again from NetGalley, last year, and I've been waiting to get a physical copy, but when I saw that someone was trading this one, I thought it would be great to add to my collection because she is one of my favourite authors. This is only a novella, just over 100 pages long. Honestly, it was incredible. This is one of my favourites from her. It's about a group of scientists who go off into space to look at new planets and to figure out what the ecological system is on these planets. So they do a lot of experimentation. They go to 4, I think, different places, and each one is very different. They start to learn more about themselves. Honestly, if you haven't checked out Becky Chambers, I would recommend starting with this one. It's a little bit different to her other series, but because it's a short one, it's probably really easy to get into even if you're not used to her writing. I also swapped for an arc of a book that I am currently in the middle of, but again, my headphones are broken. So I was listening to Such a Fun Age as my running book when I was doing my 5Ks, but without my headphones, I can't listen to music or audiobooks when I am running. So that's a real bummer. But I saw this one was up for trade, so I got a copy of it, and I'm so excited because I was really enjoying it. I think I started listening to it back in July, and then the heat wave happened, so I stopped listening to the audiobook because I stopped running, and then my headphones broke. So I'm not having much luck with audiobooks for the past couple of months, but I am really enjoying this book. So it's an adult contemporary. It's about a main character called Amira, who is a babysitter, and she is a black woman babysitting for a white family. One day she takes one of the children to a shopping centre, and she is accused of stealing the baby. I got a little bit further than that, and I was really enjoying the book and the themes surrounding it. Like I said, my headphones are broken. I can't listen to the audiobook at the moment, no matter how much I was enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to reading this physical version. Finally, we have another arc of a book that I loved. I gave this one 4 stars. I have done a full review on it if you want to go and check it out, and that is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is an adult thriller. It came out earlier on this year. It's about a woman who hosts a wedding on a remote island in Ireland. Someone shows up dead, so it's kind of like a closed room mystery, but more on an island rather than in a closed room. It's also signed, which is really exciting because Lucy Foley is one of my favourite authors. I'm really glad that I found a copy of this up for trade. Okay, and now we're going to go on to the library books that I have, of which I only have 4 because I am managing to restrain myself at the library thanks to COVID. The first one is one that I don't actually know much about. I know that it was nominated for a few prizes, but I don't really know the full synopsis, and that is The Water Cure. So this one was nominated for the Man Booker Prize either last year or the year before, and I think it's a dystopian story. First line of the blurb says, "Imagine a world very close to our own, where women are not safe in their bodies, where desperate measures are required to raise a daughter." This is the story of Grace, Leah and Skye, kept apart from the world for their own good and taught the terrible things that every woman must learn about love. A blazing vision of suffering, sisterhood and transformation. So I think it's going to be, hopefully be, a feminist story. Quite a disturbing one, I think, but I have to be in the right mindset to read those. So I don't think I'm going to read this one in September, but I'm hanging on to it until October to read it then. I might have to start a new pile. The next one is one that I got because my friend Angela keeps talking about it, at least I think she does. I think it was Angela, and that is Exhalation by Ted Chiang. So this is a set of science fiction novellas, or short stories, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to be honest, I don't do great with short stories. I initially wasn't all too interested in picking this one up, but I did hear Angela talking about it and raving about it, so I found it in the library, which I'm really pleased about. This has a total of 9 short stories, I think, and so I'm hoping to read this one again in October once things have calmed down for me a little bit. It's starting to look a bit wonky. The next one is one that you've already seen, I think, in my September TBR video, which I will link up above if you haven't seen already, and that is Burn by Patrick Ness. This is YA historical literary, kind of, with a bit of magical realism thrown in. His books are always a whole mess of genres. Basically, it's about a girl who works on a farm and her father hires a dragon to work there as well, and then somehow the FBI get involved, and I think it turns into a weird coming of age story. I love Patrick Ness's writing, even though I don't always love his books, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to reading this one in September. And finally, this one is one that I am supposed to be buddy reading with a bunch of people, but because August was so terrible, I kind of quit my buddy reads and didn't get around to any of them. So that is Foundryside. This is another one that my friend Angela keeps talking about. She was in the group of buddy readers with me. I think the 3rd book is coming out in September or October. This one is adult fantasy. I don't know much more about it. Brandon Sanderson has blurbed it at the top, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is by the author of City of Stairs, which my friend Justine is obsessed with, and she actually bought for me a while back. we all knew that was going to happen. So I don't usually read books by authors out of order. I like to read their books in order of publication. I think I might try to read City of Stairs before I read this one, except I'm feeling really left out of the buddy reads, so maybe not. I might read this one first. Okay, we're in the home stretch. These next ones are all ones that I bought for myself. The first one is a pre-order of a book that I have already read and already adored, and that is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. So I had to pre-order the paperback of this one because I got a paperback of The Poppy War and I like my series to match. This is a 5-star read for me. It's the sequel to The Poppy War. The third book is coming out in October and I'm dying to read it. The publisher still hasn't accepted my request, but that's fine. I'm going to buy it, but only as an ebook first because I need to get the paperback copy. I'm sure you already know what this one is about. It's dark adult military fantasy about a girl called Rin who goes to a military academy and then war breaks out. Really disturbing stuff happens and I have a ship. At the end of this book, my ship was pretty much destroyed, but I have hope that things are going to pull through and I'm not going to be left really disappointed like I am with almost all of my ships nowadays. The next one I bought is Americanah. This is about two people who used to live in Nigeria, but then one of them went to the USA and one went to the UK. I think it's about the two of them as they have already lived their lives in both countries and then they come back together in Nigeria and share their situations and what happened to them. That's probably a really bad synopsis for this one, but I don't tend to read synopses in that much depth, so forgive me if that was completely wrong. But I've heard amazing things about this one. I don't really know anyone who has read it in my inner circle of friends, if you want to call it that, but I do know lots of booktubers who have loved it, so I'm really looking forward to picking up very soon. Probably not in September again because I need to put some of these books away into boxes, but hopefully in October. The next one is one that I tried to read as an ebook years ago. I can't remember why I couldn't get into it. It might have been the format, and it's not really one that I am dying to read, but it was on sale and it caught my eye, and that is Old Man's War by John Scalzi, which is a really famous series. It's a science fiction book about an old man who joins the army at 75 years old. It says here that John Perry is after a fresh start, so naturally he joins the army. Earth's military machine can transform elderly recruits, restoring their lost youth. In return, it demands 2 years of hazardous service in space. So I don't know what this war is about or why they're fighting in space, but I think sometimes I'm just in the mood for like military war-based science fiction, and so I picked this one up. It's also really short, so I am expecting to read it quite quickly. Speaking of short books, I also got White is for Witching. This is adult horror. It's set in the UK in Dover in Kent. It's about a main character who goes back to her family home and it's haunted and it's meant to be super creepy. I'm reading this one in September. It's also in my September TBR and I can't wait to get to it. It's very short, like I said, so I should fly through it, and I'm expecting to be kept up at night by this because I've heard such good things about this author. Then we have a non-fiction book, and that is Bad Blood. So this is apparently the story of Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos, secrets and lies in a Silicon Valley startup. So I don't really know much about this one, but I did want to read more non-fiction, and again this one was on sale. It's basically investigative journalism into a billion-dollar startup company, and something awful happens at the company and they're a bit dodgy. So I'm looking forward to reading this one again, probably not anytime soon, maybe in November. And finally I have Pines by Blake Crouch. I've read 2 books by this author before, both of his science fiction ones. There's Dark Matter and Recursion. This one is a detective thriller, I think. I know that my friend Kayla read it and she enjoyed it, I think, so I'm looking forward to getting to it. Again, this one was on sale, so I decided to nab it while it was. It says here that the main character is in a violent accident and he wakes up in hospital with no ID and no cell phone. Medical staff seem friendly, but something feels a bit off. So from what I can gather, this is like a small town mystery and something really dodgy is going on in a town called Wayward Pines. And I don't, is this a TV show as well, or is it being pitched or said to be turned into a TV show? I can't quite remember. It is one that I think is going to be really fast paced because Blake Crouch's books always are, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this series. So those are all the books that I received, bought or acquired in August over the past month or so. Like I said, this is going to be my final book haul for a while. Please don't unsubscribe because I'm sure there will be another massive one towards the end of the year because I've got my birthday and Christmas coming up. It's just I really can't justify buying a bunch of books anytime soon now that I don't know what I'm doing in regards to the house move and the house purchase, but I really hope that everything goes smoothly so I can buy books again soon. Let me know which books you've acquired recently, and if you've read any of these and you would like me to read them sooner, then do let me know and then I won't put them in my moving box. Thank you so much for watching my video and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye!